All right, everybody. All right, check in, check in, check in. Good morning, good afternoon. And we don't have music. No music today. You got a live from Tel Aviv in the background. But we got information to go through now as Iran has retaliated on U.S. bases in Qatar. Here's some video of the ballistic missiles observed. We'll go through a couple of these. So you also have sirens being reported in Bahrain and Kuwait as well. Airspace over UAE has been closed. We got a bunch of videos coming in now. Multiple interceptors seen leaving Qatar during the Iranian ballistic missile attack against U.S. Al Udeid Air Base. Al Udeid Air Base. Let's try to put this in. See if we can get this up on the maps.
Coming from the direction of Retaliates.
Let's put this on here.
La ilaha illallah.
Everybody check in.
La ilaha illallah. Southwest, coming from the direction of Retaliates. Windows are shaking.
That'd be the air defense going off. So here's Al Udeid Air Base, and here's what it looks like.
Patriot.
Pause that. The Patriots going off. This is a look at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Okay, as you guys can see, they're just to the east of Saudi Arabia, and that is one of the places that we're seeing a retaliatory strikes from Iran take place. Interception seen over the Qatari capital of Doha after a launch of several ballistic missiles by Iran. Here's another one. Got multiple videos coming in. Hello, hello. Okay. Go through as much information as possible. Reports of U.S. launches now against U.S. bases in Iraq. We'll just start here. So it started about 24 minutes ago. Iran just launched several ballistic missiles at U.S. Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Okay, and then you got explosions heard over Doha. Axios reports that Israel detected the launch of at least 6 ballistic missiles by Iran against Qatar. Reports of missile launches now against U.S. bases in Iraq. And then again, here's the videos of the interceptions. We'll just kind of go through these in the timeline. No reaction from Qatar yet. No reaction yet that I can see. And then again, here's another video of the intercepts. Just posted about 15 minutes ago.
La ilaha illallah. Southwest, coming from the direction of Retaliates. Windows are shaking. La ilaha illallah.
I thought that was an alarm. I got to put up the Zofar Red app on for monitoring if Tel Aviv is going to be hit. Checking in from Missouri. There's a Patriot going off. Here's another view. This is footage showing surface-to-air missiles launched from Al Udeid Air Base, intercepting Iranian ballistic missiles earlier over Doha.
Allahu Akbar. Madam.
Man64 says, my bro is over there now, and he says he's seen the rockets flying in the skies. Yeah, they're coming. Looks like they're being intercepted by the Patriots. So we can come back to that. Sirens and air defense is reported at U.S. Al-Assad Air Base in western Iraq. The airspace over United Arab Emirates has now been closed. You got more sirens being reported in Bahrain and Kuwait. Here's another view of the sky over Qatar. You can see the intercepts there. Okay, you can see the intercepts in the sky. I don't see more coming in. Aircraft are currently being scrambled from Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. Aircraft are being scrambled. Okay, so we're going to be having information coming in. Everybody check into the stream. They said there was a direct hit in Qatar as information's coming in. And who's they? So here's what we know so far. Iran launched Operation Glad Tidings of Victory against U.S. forces. At least 6 missiles fired at U.S. bases in Qatar. Explosions heard over Doha, possibly intercepted. U.S. jets scrambling over Saudi Arabia. More missiles reportedly fired at U.S. bases in Iraq. Alarms going off at U.S. air bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. All U.S. bases in the region may be at risk. Trump is back in the Situation Room with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the Joint Chiefs right now. If you guys could hit the like button on the stream, share the stream, help it out there. Help it out there. Got a lot of people telling me about other people streaming, and I got my own stream, okay? So you guys could share that out and help me out here on Mercado Media. I'd appreciate that to get this information out there, as we got retaliatory strikes from Iran on U.S. bases, and it's starting to kick off here. So like, share if you could. I appreciate that. So we'll keep that tweet up, and we'll keep that post up as more will be coming in here. Appreciate that, MDW. Okay, Iranian state TV attack on Qatari U.S. base is underway. Let's see how this goes. Iran's Supreme National Security Council says its forces have pulverized the U.S. Al-Udeid air base in Qatar. I don't think so. In response to the American strike on Iranian nuclear sites, it says the number of missiles matched the number of U.S. bombs used, and claims the strike avoided civilian areas. This is the source. Telegram. I used to be able to translate these pretty easily. Translate. Okay. Statement by the Secretariat of the Supreme National Security Council of Iran's missile response to the U.S. aggression. Okay. Whoever attacks you, attack him in the same way as he attacked you. In response to the U.S.'s aggressive and brazen action against Iran's nuclear sites and facilities, a few hours ago, the powerful armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran destroyed the U.S. base in Al-Udeid, Qatar. The number of missiles used in the successful operation was the same as the number of bombs used by the U.S. in its attack on Iran's nuclear facilities, and the base targeted by the powerful Iranian forces was far from urban facilities and residential areas in Qatar. This action does not pose any threat to our friendly and brotherly country Qatar and its honorable people, and the Islamic Republic of Iran is committed to maintaining and continuing warm and historic relations with Qatar. So they're claiming that the base was completely destroyed. That would be big if true. So we got U.S. jets scrambling in Saudi Arabia. Let's get the flight radar going so we can track all this. The flight radar cooking. That was what I gotta realize. That's what Iran will say. Okay, if you're new to this, if you're new to open source intelligence like that, Iran will say things. Doesn't mean it's true. I'm just telling you what they're saying. I'm just letting you know. Oftentimes it's not. Plus, we have people in the chat here now that have people at this base, and they would be telling me if it was destroyed. I know which base. I gotta figure out which base exactly it is. Okay. Let's go to flight radar. Is that what's going on here? Jets. These are Air Arabia. What's that? Private owner. Is that here? Kuwait City? Got a lot of planes going into Kuwait City. Not seen any U.S. jets though. Not seen any U.S. jets. We'll keep an eye over here though. Yeah, planes in the area. Transworld Jets. Hawker 4000 Horizon. How you doing? What up, John? Okay, so we'll keep up in that area there, the flight radar, see if any jets are moving. That was 16 minutes ago. Keep an eye. Who's Damian Simon? Is he tracking the flight radar? Oh, okay. Oh, they're turning around. That's what's happening. Oh, okay. So they're turning away. They were gonna fly over the air between Qatar and Iran, and they're turning around. Okay, that's what's happening. You can see it here. You can see their flight path. All these planes turned around because the missiles coming in over Qatar. You got Thomas Mass here. War powers resolution is 50. Okay, so you got a war powers resolution. Makes it sound like the IRGC is making it clear they're done. IRGC statement on the retaliatory attack on the U.S. base in Al Udeid. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and most merciful. Twice. Merciful twice. Noble and resilient nation of Iran, following the blatant military aggression of the criminal regime of the United States of America against the peaceful nuclear facilities of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the blatant violation of international law by the plan of the Supreme National Security Council and the leadership of the central headquarters of the Seal of the Prophets, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, with the sacred code of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, has targeted the Al Udeid base in Qatar with devastating and powerful missile attack in Operation Basharat Fatah. This base is the headquarters of the Air Force and the largest strategic asset of the U.S. terrorist army in the West Asia region. The message of the decisive action of the nation's sons and armed forces is clear and explicit for the White House and its allies. The Islamic Republic of Iran, relying on God Almighty and relying on the faithful and illustrious people of Islamic Iran, will not leave any attack on its territorial integrity, sovereignty, and national security unanswered under any circumstances. With the aggression of the American enemy, it became clear to everyone that the evil of the Zionists was an extension of the American design. Accordingly, we would like to remind you that in this national defense, the American bases and mobile military targets in the region are not a point of strength, but a major weakness and the thorn in the side of this warmongering regime. So that is from the IRGC. Okay. Bahrain urges all citizens to seek shelter immediately. Trump currently in Situation Room. So likely going to have a response to the response. I don't see a situation where this does not result in war between Iran and the United States. Yeah. I think this base was hit already. This is in Iraq. Iran is Nazi posting. What else we got here? We got already the Associated Press posting. And you got an article coming in. Iran says it launched an attack on U.S. forces in Qatar's Al Udeid airbase. Iran launched a missile attack Monday on U.S. military base in Qatar, retaliating on the American bombing of its nuclear sites. The announcement was made on a state television as martial music played. A caption on screen called it "mighty and successful response by the armed forces of Iran to America's aggression." The attack came shortly after Qatar closed its airspace in precaution amid threats from Iran. Am I quiet? Is my mic quiet, guys? Check in. Hello, hello. All right. All right, so cool. All right, it sounds fine for you. Perfect. Trump visited the base and addressed U.S. and Qatari troops there in May during... Oh, so that's probably why it was chosen. Speaking of the U.S. troops in May, the president said, "My priority is to end conflicts, not start them." What an okie doke, I guess, huh? What an okie doke Uno reverse. Hey, we're going to end the same base. As we're waiting for further information on the status of the soldiers there and what actually was hit, if any. We got the Operation Glad Tidings of Victory, and I can show you guys what some of the strikes were looking like. We have some video. Qatari airspace closed, UAE airspace closed. So that's why we're seeing the planes move. Donald Trump's in the Situation Room. I'm gonna find this guy. What the hell? He actually posted videos. There you go. So 2 minutes ago, panic scene in Doha during the Iranian ballistic missile attack earlier against Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Okay, so here you go. Some video coming in already. People running. You got the Iranian ballistic missile attack there. Some media outlets are reporting a few possible 3 ballistic missile impacts at or near U.S. Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. So far, though, nothing is confirmed. Yeah, we're not seeing anything that's confirmed the strikes yet. Iran obviously put those statements out on their Telegram and their news, and that's what they're going to do regardless. Okay, here's some more video of the incoming and the ballistic missiles. And also the Patriot interceptions. Guys, share anything you have into my Discord. Open source intelligence Discord. OSINT for information. Sorry. We have Israel war section. You can put it in that. Okay. Might change to US Iran war, but I'm gonna keep it in Israel war for now. Anything you guys come up with or anything you guys have in there, other than other streamers, that is not allowed. Anyone else doing streaming, because they're not first-hand sources. Unless they're in Qatar streaming or Iran, but that's, I mean, if you can find that, GG's, good luck. But footage showing surface-to-air missiles launched from Al Udeid Air Base intercepting Iranian ballistic missiles earlier.
Allahu Akbar. تعال يا مدام.
Okay, so we'll come back to these guys because these are the only videos we have right now. Aunt Mod Nikki, can you share that into the Discord with the Reuters article?
La ilaha illallah.
I can't have so many things up. Looking at Discord.
La ilaha illallah.
Mod Nikki says Reuters said that there's been no casualties.
Southwest, coming from the direction of Al-Udeid. Windows are shaking.
Not Bricks News. Can we not share Bricks News, please? Any other sources, please? Bricks is not. That is Russian, Brazil, India, Eastern news. If we could share something else, possibly.
Probably Patriot.
We got to get our. If you're following me, you're gonna be annoyed a little bit because I'm gonna be more tight on sourcing and where we're getting our information from. I promise. Interceptions over the Qatari capital of Doha following the launch of several ballistic missiles by Iran against the U.S. Al Udeid Air Base. Okay, so there was some videos coming in already of the intercepts as we're waiting for more. Shout out to Mod Nikki. It's just some, okay. I'm gonna tell him to go to Discord. Cameraman sucks. It's literally just somebody taking a cell phone video. Yeah. Okay. We can go to Reuters. I'll look that up. You're looking again? You keep hitting paywalls now. Qatari airspace shut down. That was an hour ago. I might have to log into my Reuters. I might have to get that logged in. I'll do that on the side here. As information is coming in. Just a lot to do. I should have been logged into my Reuters. No casualties have been reported at this time. No casualties reported. If I can get another source up, I'd love that. No casualties reported. I can't even. We'll have to do that on the side. There you go. Iran says launched missiles to U.S. airbase in Qatar. Airbase on alert. Sirens heard in Bahrain. Yeah, I'm going to have to get subscribed to Reuters again. Might have left that subscription go unattended for too long. We can use AP for now. We can use AP with their live updates. Let's do all. There you go. 4 minutes ago, Qatar said there's no casualties after Iran's attack on the Al Udeid airbase. Quick statement from Qatar Foreign Minister spokesman Majed Al-Ansari said that energy-rich nation condemns the attack that targeted Al Udeid airbase by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. We are reassured that Qatar's air defenses successfully thwarted the attack and intercepted the Iranian missiles. It added, Qatar said it would push for diplomatic efforts for a serious return to the negotiating table and dialogue. Al Udeid is also home to the Combined Air Operations Center, which provides command and control of air power across the region, as well as 379th Air Expeditionary Wing, the largest expeditionary wing in the world. No casualties. Okay, no casualties so far. Obviously, Trump's in the Situation Room right now, so we'll keep that up here. I'll just use the AP breaking news. We can use that. That way I don't have to log into Reuters and try to subscribe. Because they're giving the same updates. Can I cover Trump's statement too about Russia? And eventually, I already we posted it on our social media already this morning. You guys can follow on Facebook. Here's a zoomed in video of the intercepts. Okay. I also have the Tel Aviv cam up. So we have the Tel Aviv live stream up. That's why I keep going back to this one here, right? In case there's a... Let me pull up the Zophar Red app too. Oops. And we can hear if there's any red alerts coming in at Tel Aviv. That's the airbase right here. Al Udeid airbase. That's what it looks like. See if I can pull it up on Earth here too. I also got live updates here from...
I was told by a senior administration official not too long before we came on the air, as we were hearing about these strikes, that the president and the White House, the Department of Defense, were closely monitoring any threats.
We're all monitoring the situation. The whole U.S. is. U.S. So we got U.S. confirmation 10 minutes ago after everyone else is known. Okay, so U.S. official confirms. It's all happened in the last hour. Within the last hour, all this has been going on. Good thing I've been up since like 11, and as soon as I wake up, I swear to every day I wake up and grab my phone. Now it's like it's bad. It's bad. I wake up in a panic, like, oh boy, what happened now? And here we go. Of course, Jen. Of course. So guys, we're gonna be staying with this all day. We're gonna be staying with it as long as needed. With the latest updates happening in Iran's response, what the U.S. response to the response is going to be now, if there is going to be one. What the BDA? We don't even have the BDA, which is battle damage assessment, on the 3 nuclear facilities in Iran. So we don't know what that looks like. And then now we have confirmation from Qatar that there were no U.S. personnel hit in the attack. Statement of the Secretary of the Supreme Council in Iran's response to U.S. aggression. In response to the U.S. So this is another one. In response to the U.S.'s aggressive and brazen action against Iran's nuclear sites and facilities, the powerful armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran destroyed the U.S. airbase, and that obviously didn't happen. Okay. Why is Iran? Because there's a U.S. base there, right? If you've been watching my coverage, which that's why you should, I've been telling you that any response from Iran would likely start at U.S. bases. Okay, people were rightfully worried if Iran was going to like start attacking the U.S. like us at home, right? And that was never in the question. It was what was Iran's response going to be, and it was the first one is going to be attacking our bases in the Middle East, in Qatar, Iraq, and Jordan, and Syria. Okay, those troops and airmen stationed there are going to be fighting here. Okay, they're going to be facing combat. At least the air defense will be. Maybe not so much the ground forces. I don't know if Iran's going to launch troop movements against our bases. We'll see. Obviously, we're tracking this as long as it goes, right? But right now, you got the air defense working, and that was the Patriot systems that we saw in these videos here. Which again, here they are. If you just started tuning in, you had Iran launch retaliatory strikes against U.S. Al-Udeid Air Base. Okay, we have some video of what that looks like. Lies, Merc, you better backtrack. I'm about backtracking on anything. I've been right about this whole thing, honestly. I can say that.
La ilaha illallah.
Because we make sure at Mercado Media, and not just me, but my moderators and everybody that is here all the time, try to make sure we're informed, all right?
Coming from the direction of Al-Udeid.
So if you're part of this community, if you're brand new, welcome.
Windows are shaking. La ilaha illallah.
Saying our troops are in combat, right?
La ilaha illallah.
Right. We just have air defense going off, and Patriot systems are just going off for no reason. Absolutely, Jeff. Glad you're back. You were so missed. What up, TC? This is one of the longer videos that shows it. Yeah, Jeff, and you're worthless. Okay, I wanted to be the one to tell you. Jeff says that there's nothing happening, guys. He wants to hold the. He wants to pretend like we're not fighting Iran now, like a lot of people are. Thank you, 808 show. That's a strat too. I didn't expect the strat to just pretend that this isn't happening. I guess you can do that as well, to keep your copium. You can do that. Uno reverse. Good play. I guess I should have factored that one in when we were trying to figure out yesterday what the cope was going to be when Trump is dragging us into another Middle Eastern war, and here we go. Oh, there's nothing even happening. Fake news. Masterful Gambit. Here's another one from Bahrain 7 minutes ago. So this is a new video. Yep, I got that right here, DS. Yeah, good call, DS. I got that one up right now. So you got the air raid alarms going off in Bahrain, but no missiles, it looks like. Okay, so if you guys could hit the like button and share the stream as information keeps coming in now. Gonna make sure you guys get all the updates today. According to the New York Times, okay, Iran coordinated the attacks on the American airbase in Qatar with Qatari officials and gave advance notice that attacks were coming to minimize casualties. Interesting. According to 3 Iranian officials familiar with the plans, the officials said Iran symbolically needed to strike back at the U.S., but at the same time carry it out in a way that allowed all sides to an exit ramp. They described it as a similar strategy to 2020 when Iran gave Iraq heads up before firing ballistic missiles at an American base in Iraq following the assassination of Soleimani. So, that could be something positive. If you're trying to find something positive right now, is that this could just be a symbolic response, which has happened. Okay, after we took out Soleimani, and bases were hit. So, if all goes, as long as Mango Mussolini accepts this response as the response and doesn't take it up a notch himself, or whatever, it could stay just how it was today. And obviously, people are on edge, and we're on the cusp here. But if this rings true, if this comes to be true, and Iran was just doing a symbolic response at U.S. bases and gave a heads up like they have before, this could be an off ramp, like they say, like to not full send into another Middle Eastern conflict for 20 years. That it seems like a lot of people that have never even served in the military are really excited about. People that have never spent one day in a real uniform are really, really excited about the idea of the U.S. getting into another war. Or veterans that never were deployed, I guess, and like you were in the rear D and you never got to live out your glory, so now you have to be excited about soldiers that are younger and are still in. They get to go do it for you because you never did. I have a feeling things are about to get far worse and intense than we've seen so far. It depends. It depends. If Iran was just sending a symbolic response in terms of like they let us know ahead of time, and because the government, they will play games like that. Fill up your gas tanks and buy. Oh boy. It depends on what the U.S. response to the response will be. Okay, it depends on what the U.S. response to the response. Guys, stop listen, I get it. I shouldn't have gone back and forth with them. I'm just gonna get rid of them. Okay, you stop playing with the troll. Okay, there will be people that are like that. We urge all citizens and residents to exercise caution and review the following immediate precautions to be taken in the event of a loud explosion or the sounding of warning sirens. Dear citizens and residents, did they finish the rest of it? Oh boy.
عزيزي المواطن
Okay, it's not in English, damn it. It's the video to get into your safe room. Seek shelter. Take cover in a safe, enclosed area until the danger is past. Continue driving and make way for emergency vehicles, including civil defense, ambulance, traffic police, and security patrols so that they can carry out their duties. Tune in to official radio channels for updates. Disagreements don't equal trolls. Yeah, when you become a Jeff like that, you become a troll. He's not disagreeing. We just bombed Iran's nuclear sites, and Iran striking our U.S. bases, and I'm not going to have time for people to play games like they're playing games in terms of protecting Trump because of these actions and saying we're not at war. This isn't a real war. This is a special military operation. Just say it. Just say this is a special military operation. Then you can finally be Russian. Breaking. Qatar's foreign ministry has released a statement saying that all Iranian missiles were intercepted and that there are currently no reported casualties. That is also, there's two good news out of this so far that we can find. Two resiliency things right now, and that is no U.S. soldiers were, no casualties. So nobody was hurt. Nobody was killed. And then the other one, if this is true, if this is true, okay, this is reporting from the New York Times, that the Iranian response is symbolic and not intended to be a major response to really draw the U.S. into to fight Iran. Because I said yesterday, it didn't seem like Iran is. I mean, they have a sizable military, pretty large military. Their allies doesn't seem like they're interested in helping them at all. And they launched one missile at Tel Aviv yesterday, all day, and as the response to U.S. striking the enrichment facilities. Also, the U.S. reported that the air defense was not working in Iran either. So Iran likely, again, this is me just guessing. I don't want to find out either, right? We don't want to find out on a full-scale conventional war with another country. That's why it's like you got to be careful. But it's looking like Iran doesn't have the capabilities to fight, and so that's why, you know, here's a symbolic response. And that's maybe that's the hopium in me of it all. But I mean, this is if this is true, right? If this ends up being true, that they let the U.S. know ahead of time. It was just a symbolic, so Iran can tell their people, like, look, we responded, basically. Look, we responded to the evil American empire. Okay, we did it. We did the thing, and that's so that way Iran can save face with their people a little bit, not appear weak. Okay, but also realistically, at least what it seems. Again, I'm being careful with that because I don't want to say like, yeah, Iran has nothing and like they're completely weak, and I don't want to play those games. Okay, I just don't want to. But it's looking like if this does ring true, this is probably the best outcome, as long as Donald Trump doesn't come out of the meeting right now and full send another round of strikes. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Trump is gonna off ramp this if this is true? Other people are reporting it now. This is from the New York Times. Do you think there will be an off ramp at this time, or do you think that we'll send it again? Iran's Supreme National Security Council has announced that it has destroyed the U.S. Yeah, they haven't. So we've read that a couple times now. We read that like 15 minutes ago or so. No, you want war? Let's do it. Let's do a poll. Do you think the U.S. will strike Iran again as like a retaliation to the retaliation? Okay, we'll do a poll up. We got a poll up in the chat. Do you think the U.S. will strike Iran again? Yes, no, or unsure? Pull up the videos again because we keep getting new people tuning in, and welcome. I'll get you guys all the information as it's coming. So we just read a statement from a post from the New York Times about it being more of a symbolic retaliatory strike against bases. But here's some of the videos that were all coming in from Doha, in case you haven't seen them yet. Chat has been right on every poll I've ever made because they're informed. Okay, you go against the grain though, Silver Badger. You choose that one. That's a personal choice.
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
Except for I don't think chat maybe figured that we'd be in a war in 6 months. Or 5 months, sorry. It was at least 6. Kamala Harris predicted 6. And then we're at 5 though. So I think anybody with half a brain could figure out what we're going through here. That it was going to happen. We aren't in a war. Okay, so you're another Jeff.
Southwest.
Another MAGA. Chat, you're going to see that a lot. I'm seeing that now. You're seeing it today. Trump. Hardcore Trumpers that will literally deny the reality, okay, and say, no, we're not at war. We're not.
Coming from the direction of Retaliates.
These are fairy dust particles going into the sky. Those are the Epstein files, guys.
Windows are shaking.
Jesus. Iran's sending Epstein file drops and we're intercepting them, okay? That's all this is.
Patriot.
Holy. Boy, could you imagine if the tables were flipped? And this was U.S. bases. Remember how the ending of Afghanistan went. Imagine Biden as president. And you got ballistic missiles coming in at U.S. bases, and what the uproar would be, and the crying, and like oh my goodness. Could you imagine? Again, this is in the sky over Doha, you guys. Yeah. All true. Yeah, good point, Sonara. Good point. So that's one of the more longer videos showing it, okay? And here is another angle. A battle between interceptors and ballistic missiles observed in the sky over Qatar. Okay, let's not share old videos, okay, on Discord. Thank you so much, but try to share things that are recent. I don't know if I have any Discord mods up or if I need to add some more or what's up, but we need videos of like right now if possible, not like days ago. If possible, right? When breaking news happens, I need current stuff. We can review other things when we have some time, which we haven't had time, but we'll find some eventually, maybe. That's a shorter clip. And then you had the air raid alarm going off in Bahrain. Don't need to play that again because it could be... Air raid alarms can be pretty triggering now at this point. What do you got here? Okay, looks like we got some on-the-ground video. What appears to be a section of dual-pulse solid rocket motor on a Patriot PAC-3 MSE surface-to-air missile found in Qatar following tonight's Iranian ballistic missile attack.
هاي قطعة في البيت صاروخ تو طايح حلو حلو بالحنطة انا طيحناه هني طبعا عرفت علي اول ما دش بديت طيح طار هاي قطعة في البيت صاروخ تو طايح حلو حلو بالحنطة انا طيحناه هني طبعا عرفت علي اول ما دش بديت.
Okay, so that is the section of the Patriot rocket that you guys just saw intercepting the ballistic missiles in the videos over Doha. Bahrain's airspace is also now closed. Let's go back to the flight radar. Appreciate that, Dubsy, for the support. Thank you to all the members on the stream and everybody supporting the stream to keep me fueled and able to continue doing this every day. Appreciate you guys. That is closed. We got the last plane coming in now. All planes are grounded in Qatar. You got a couple over the UAE still that are flying. Or the airspace is over Bahrain is shut down. Last plane coming in as we speak. It's getting there. There it goes, see? Flight radar, super good source. All good sourcing. We could also put up some NASA firms too. I don't know if we'll be able to see. Okay, there's the base right here. So, not seeing anything on. Not seeing any red heat signatures. Got some out here. Not sure what that is. Probably could be an oil field. But nothing on the base though. This is the base right here. I'm not seeing anything from NASA firms, from satellite imagery of any fire at the base. So that's why when you say Iran saying the U.S. base has been destroyed, it's gone, no more base. They're just puffing their chest for their own people. They're not. It's not really information for us. If I guess that makes sense. It's hard to decipher because yes, like we're reading it, but if they're symbolic response, I guess, to the strikes from the U.S., they're going to be saying things like that in their Telegram postings and their official statements. Are gonna like, oh, U.S. destroyed, they're gone now, and you can either understand that to be they're just giving a message back to their people, or you can take that as, wow, look at we gotta fight them, we gotta attack them again for saying these words that are not true. Which it's true, they're lying, but at the same time they're saying it for their own people to believe that these bases are under attack. Or that these bases have been destroyed, rather. Sorry. Completely destroyed, and that's just not happening. So Iran launched an attack on Al Udeid Air Base. Is it destroyed? Absolutely not. And we don't even have any casualties, which is good. So good news there. And also, again, good potential news if if this is a true symbolic response, or just it could be cope from Iran too. That's another thing. Could just be cope, and they're saying that it's a symbolic response because they don't have enough to actually respond. So that also could be true as well. Okay, it's just all things you don't really want to play with a little bit, because I just don't want to be dragged into another 30-year, 20-year war in the Middle East. Personally, shout out to any vets in the chat. You're tired of their symbolic responses? Well, the last one they did was in 2020 when Trump was president the first time, and that was in Iraq. Trump is monitoring potential Iranian retaliation at multiple U.S. bases in the region, in addition to Qatar, including Bahrain and Iraq, and possibly more locations, according to 2 White House officials. Monitoring it all. Monitoring the situation. So there could be more. We have the Patriot rocket on the ground. Dual pulse solid rocket motor for the Patriot PAC-3. Here's what it looks like. So when you're seeing the rockets go up into the sky, that's our Patriot systems. I almost got this MOS too. Maybe I should have picked that. I would have been way more knowledgeable for this situation, but I didn't want to operate air defense. This seemed boring. 0411 Army. Big vets. Shout out to any vets we got in the chat. Yep, those Patriots are everything. They do save lives. They're defensive. They're defensive missiles, by the way. So only used to intercept missiles coming in. Now you can't use Patriots as like offensive weapons. They're defensive. Iran informed U.S. Okay, we're on that now. Let's go to the AP wire. Yeah, we got a lot of updates here. Okay, so airports across the Gulf warn of delays and cancellations. That's what it's looking like. That is what it's looking like to me. Flight radar 24 confirmed. Yeah, you got one plane sending it. One Qatar plane's going. We're going. Fuck it. QTR 85N. We'll see. The thing is taking off. It's going here. Going through. Iran's Supreme National Security Council says targets in Qatar were far from residential areas. Iran's Supreme National Security Council said in the statement the base targeted by Iran's powerful forces was also a significant distance from urban facilities and residential areas in Qatar. It added this action posed no danger to our friendly and brotherly nation of Qatar and its honorable people. The Islamic Republic of Iran remains committed to preserving and continuing its warm historic relations with Qatar. And that's where we're at. So we're kind of caught up on that. What to know. Okay, so just to catch you guys up in case you have been under a rock for the past week and a half, which can be possible, Israel launched a surprise barrage of attacks on sites in Iran on June 13th. That was 10 days ago, which Israeli officials said was necessary to head off what they claimed was an imminent threat that Iran would build nuclear bombs. Iran retaliated with a series of missile and drone attacks in Israel, while Israel has continued to strike in Iran. So up until Saturday, we've been watching Israel and Iran exchange missiles, and over time, the amount of Iranian missiles coming in, like here is Tel Aviv, right? The amount of missiles that have been coming in have been less and less and less, and we've been tracking just what's been happening in Tel Aviv, and that's how we can tell when exchange of fire is going back and forth. Iran said in the missile attack on Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar matched the number of bombs dropped by the United States on Iranian nuclear sites this weekend, signaling Iran's likely desire to de-escalate. It also said it targeted the base because it was outside of populated areas. Qatar Foreign Minister spokesman Majed Al-Ansari issued a statement saying Qatar's air defenses significantly thwarted the attack and intercepted the Iranian missiles, and that there were no casualties. So those are like the latest big three updates overall of how we even got to this point and the latest within that point. Who's this here? Might have a video here. Son of Iran's last Shah said Monday he's ready to take over the leadership. The son of the Shah.
Defeated, teetering on the edge of collapse, and must not be allowed to continue. The time has come to end this ruin and begin a new era for Iran. This is a new dawn for Iran's lion and son. I am here today to submit myself to my compatriots, to lead them down this road of peace and democratic transition. I do not seek political power, but rather to help our great nation navigate through this critical hour towards stability, freedom, and justice.
Okay, so that's from the son of the, excuse me, that is from the son of the Shah, you guys. Son of the Shah, which is the last government we installed into Iran. According to Reuters, Iran had informed the United States. Okay, so we're a little ahead of the curve on that one. So, what do you guys think up to this point? So we're pretty much caught up right for now. Caught up for now. And this is like the biggest information, I think, about the strikes overall, and more people are starting to share it out. Any injuries or worse? Not yet. Nothing reported. No casualties reported. Sourcing in Qatar said that it's all been intercepted at this time. What do you guys? What's your guys' take on the overall situation right now in the chat? Interesting if this is just a good to try to make Iran a democratic nation, or will this succeed? I mean, are we regime changing? Are we changing the regime? Is that what's happening, huh? Is the Strait going to get mined now? It could. It depends on that's what Iran wants to do. Stock market today, crude oil falls after Iran launches missile strikes. The Middle East may be in a tumult, but markets are shrugging off the conflict. Even if the crude oil market was relatively unperturbed after the U.S. bombed Iran over the weekend and Iran responded on Monday, U.S. oil prices fell about 3% Monday after being up as much as 4% Sunday night trading. Because Trump truthed out to keep the oil prices down. He told drill, baby, drill. Do it. Everyone keep oil prices down. I'm watching. You're playing right into the hands of the enemy. Don't do it. 4 hours ago. Don't raise the prices. Golly, I'm not subscribing to all these places for news. Holy cow. Okay. Go to Newswire. Iran informed U.S. hours ahead of attacks at Qatar, Reuters. That's the last we have here. So that's the last we got going on. What about Trump's nuclear post? Yeah, it was real. Why wouldn't it be? Right here, this was 2 hours ago though, but he's arguing with Medvedev, who is irrelevant. He's arguing with Medvedev and calls Putin the boss. Putin's my dad. It's nothing. It's nothing really to look at. for me. I mean, it's a post about Russia, but he's targeting Medvedev, who is a cuck. He's Putin's cuck. Nothing really to look at. 21 seconds ago, just came in. Several U.S. defense officials have confirmed that U.S. forces at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar were attacked earlier with short-range and medium-range ballistic missiles fired from Iran, with no reports so far of any casualties at U.S. service members stationed in Qatar or the Middle East. So we have reports, no reports of soldiers being hit in the attacks, which is very good news. Patriots scores yet another major win against Ballistic Missile Network. That's why Ukraine wanted them, because they work and they're very good. They're defensive capabilities that are the best, and they had PAC-3s. Right now, we're honestly waiting for the Situation Room to finish. Putin won't be happy. The price of crude oil going down. So Greenland is safe for now? Yeah. We're not even looking at Greenland now. U.S. oil prices today following the U.S. precision strikes to destroy Iranian nuclear enrichment facilities. The prices are starting to drop, so we need some updated articles, I guess. The articles I was reading were from like 3-4 hours ago. So fair enough. Fair enough on that. Did the U.S. destroy Iran's uranium supply or not? Oof. Too many people clicking on it. Wow. Okay. I guess I can't read it. Published on Iranian media, it says good morning. They got memes. They have those, that's for sure. Crimson Tide says American troops are now under attack. Trump trashed diplomatic deal. Obama achieved causes. The stream is too quiet. What do you mean the stream? There's nothing to listen to right now, I guess. I have the feed from Tel Aviv up. I'm also taking time to read a little bit. Here you go. The situation in Tehran after the strikes on the American base in Qatar. Music in the streets. Motorcyclists ride with flags. So this is the streets of Qatar. You have it turned up all the way and can barely hear me. Is that a personal issue, or do you guys barely hear me actually? So that's Tehran. That's what's happening there. Maybe a tad quieter than usual. Is it really a quieter than usual? I can fix that, I guess. I don't, this microphone. It's time to get a new one. Israeli Air Force is currently attacking Tehran, according to IDF military radio. Yeah, let me turn it up. You just got here. Good to have you. Welcome. As we're tracking all of this. I hope that works. I turned myself up now. Turn my microphone volume up some. Sound is fine. Careful you didn't get content IDs. For what? So you apparently got the Israeli Air Force currently attacking Tehran, according to IDF military radio. So that's taking place, and that was just posted a little over 15 minutes ago. Okay. Appreciate that, Dustin. The all-you-need airbase in Qatar was the only base attacked by Iran. Local authorities deny attacks in Iraq. There's also no mention that al-Assad was attacked by Iranian officials. No Iranian attack detected at any U.S. base in region other than Qatar. So even though they're saying that they're going to be attacking Iraq and Syria, it seems like there's no other attacks other than at the military base in Qatar at this time. Anti-aircraft fire going on in Tehran. CNN's correspondent in the city says on live on the air. No indication that this is anything else than the normal Israeli attacks. Okay, it doesn't seem like it's out of the regular back and forth that we've had between Iran and Israel. Doesn't appear so. Study of War is tracking reports that Iran is conducting attacks against U.S. bases in Qatar and Iraq. Further information and detailed analysis will be available in our forthcoming evening update. So we'll have additional information from the Study of War later tonight. There's the bases in the Middle East. There's our bases between Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Qatar, the UAE, and Kuwait within the region. Hello, everybody. Check in. Give me a plus if you could. Let me know where you guys are all tuned in from in the chat as we're going through all this information. Never trust YouTube chat. It seems so. I mean, Iranians and Iran, the government want totally different things. The Iranian people aren't an obstacle to peace or monolithic. It's the government and the military that's the obstacle. It's the government and the military, huh? And then there's the U.S. confirmed strikes in Iran. Hello, Iowa. What up, Oregon? Good to have you. What up, Texas? Good to see you, Cenk. Good to see you. Good to see you. What up, Taiwan? What up, Kelseyville, California? Germantown. Good to have you. What up, Syracuse? Hello, Finland. Central Pennsylvania. Central Pennsylvania. Yeah, we can go through some of the videos again over the top of Doha. It's National Day in Greenland. Flights are landing and taking off again in UAE. More than 10 flights were forced to divert during the airspace closure. Yeah, you have a couple planes. This plane would look like it was sending it regardless, though. Planes are still down in Bahrain. But you got one Qatar. It's 196,000 people are watching this plane right now. 190, almost 200,000 people are tracking this plane right now. You see the video of all the settlers fleeing to Cyprus? No, I have not. Share it to the Discord if you have it. Share it to the Discord if you have a video of that. But that is the flight radar as of now. What plane is it? It is Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways plane. Chad's effect regime change. What the heck, Chris? Happy, dude. I don't know if he's memeing or what. So, what is this? Dr. Majed Al-Ansari, spokesperson for the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Iran. Oh, it's Qatar. The state of Qatar strongly condemns the attack that targeted Al Udeid air base by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. We consider this a flagrant violation of sovereignty of the state of Qatar, its airspace, international law, and the United Nations Charter. We affirm that Qatar reserves the right to respond directly in a manner equivalent with the nature and scale of this brazen aggression, in line with international law. We reassure that Qatar's air defenses successfully thwarted the attack and intercepted the Iranian missiles. A detailed statement regarding the circumstances of the attack will be issued later by the Ministry of Defense. We also emphasize that the continuation of such escalatory military actions will undermine security and stability in the region, dragging it into situations that could have catastrophic consequences for international peace and security. We call for the immediate cessation of all military actions and for a serious return to the negotiating table and dialogue. Furthermore, the state of Qatar was one of the first countries to warn against the dangers of Israeli escalation in the region. We have consistently called for diplomatic solutions to be prioritized and have stressed the importance of good neighborliness. I don't even know what the hell that is. Being a good neighbor and avoiding escalation. Neighborliness. That's the first time I've ever said that word. I don't think I've ever spoken that word out of my mouth. We affirm that dialogue is the only way to overcome the current crises and ensure the security of the region and the peace of its people. The base has been evacuated earlier following established security and precautionary measures. Given the tensions in the region, all necessary steps were taken to ensure the safety of personnel at the base, including Qatari Armed Forces members, friendly forces, and others. We confirm that no injuries or human casualties resulted from the attack. You guys ever say the word neighborliness? Holy. Mr. Rogers' neighborliness. Maybe that's what it should have been called, and I would have been prepared to say that word. So, yeah, Qatar ain't happy. Hey, 23 with a big 5 gifted. Thank you for the support. Let's go. I appreciate that. Big support on the stream. Thank you so much. I mean, Iranians and Iran, the government, want totally different things. The Iranian people aren't an obstacle to peace or monolithic. It's the government and the military. Good to have you, Bloomington, Minnesota, over there. Good to have you. Guys, we're also live on YouTube and Twitch. Okay, if you guys are on Facebook or whatever platform you're watching on, we're live on YouTube, Facebook, and the Twitch. If you guys haven't checked in yet. If you guys haven't said anything. Okay? Say hello. Hello from Norway. Good to have you. The Twitch. I'm liking it over there. We got a community forming over there, guys. We had like 75 to 100 people over there every stream. Just sneaking through on the Twitch. Twitch community say, hey, we'll make this Mercado train roll. I didn't expect Twitch to have people over there like that right away. I appreciate you guys. Syria said they can't get involved. Hamilton, Ontario, good to have you. It's hot today. It's pretty hot. It's hot a lot of places. We got a heat wave coming through the U.S. I finally had to put up a block over my door because heat was coming in from the sun. We don't have anything in the news wire coming in. I think honestly we're waiting for the Situation Room. We're waiting for Trump to come out of that and any response from the U.S. on that. Hello from Santa Ana, California. Good to have you. Hello from Santa Ana. Hello. We've been spending a lot of time in California lately, haven't we? A lot of times there. Medvedev responded. Regarding President Trump's concerns, I condemn the U.S. strike on Iran. It failed to achieve its objectives. However, Russia has no intention of supplying nuclear weapons to Iran because, unlike Israel, we are parties to the nuclear... Oh, yeah. We're better than Israel. Yeah. Yeah, Israel. Jesus Christ. This is what politics is. Just smoke a bong, okay, and just let it happen because these people are all stupid. All of them. And then you got Trump actually threatening Medvedev, bro. Medvedev is a drunk asshole. Russia's president at one point, and then Putin said, never mind, I'll be president again. And all he does is just get hammered and just write posts. That's what he does. He does nothing else. I know quite well that this would entail having overseen our nuclear forces as president, but other countries might, and that's what was said, and we definitely shouldn't be arguing over who has more nukes. All more so because the New START Treaty, which I once signed with the U.S. president, is still in force for now. So you got Medvedev posting. You quit drinking. You quit drinking because of Medvedev. He'll outdo you. Trump is willing to... oh, God. This is what I was worried about. Because, like, honestly, does the Iranian response that they say is just symbolic, is it weak? Yes, but let it be weak. Then we don't have to go into war. Okay, they responded. Okay, GG's. We hit their bases. We don't know if it was destroyed. They hit our base. Nothing was damaged. No soldiers lost their lives, thankfully. Thank God. Call it a day. Wow. And then Israel and Iran will still apparently exchange missiles with each other. But apparently we're attached to Israel like that. Which that's going to be the okie doke, right? I think that's going to be the okie doke. Is Israel still wants to fight Iran. They want to keep going. So we'll see how the U.S. responds to all this. President Trump is willing to escalate United States military involvement if necessary, according to a senior White House official. He was scheduled to meet with national security officials for further discussions. Yeah, no U.S. soldiers were harmed. President Trump now opposes any further engagement in the region. U.S. officials say they anticipated these attacks from Tehran. He will escalate, but he opposes any further action. It's always double speak, isn't it? Okay, so the only base that was attacked tonight by Iran was Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. So no other bases. One base, Al Udeid Air Base, which is right here. Okay. There's Qatar. There is the base. That's what it looks like. Nothing was hit. We can go back to some of the videos too that came in case you missed them. Starting here. Showing the Patriots in the sky. Alright, and got some other videos for you.
La ilaha illallah. Southwest, coming from the direction of Al-Udeid. Windows are shaking. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Probably Patriot. La ilaha illallah.
Okay, so that's from the Patriot. Likely he said it was. He was guessing. We'll get some more emojis on Twitch. I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on that stuff in the background. Couple more. These are all videos from the attack. Remind you of your visit to Ukraine? No. The air defense is like it's a lot of small arms fire, and like I might have seen a Patriot one time, but it might have been Ukraine's own air defense. Like I couldn't tell. I think we saw one Ukrainian air defense go off when I was there. When I wasn't in the area when I believe the Patriot intercepted a missile over the over the Lavra. That wasn't there. We were already in Kharkiv on our way east. So I missed that one. Oh, that's, we don't need to put that. That's just the air raid alarm in Bahrain. Here was the Patriot missile recovered. Tatsu420, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. There was a big attack in Kyiv the day we left. Oh boy, we had another attack on another truth has been sent. The sites that hit Iran were totally destroyed, and everyone knows it. Only the fake news would say anything different in order to try and demean as much as possible. And even they say they were pretty well destroyed. Working especially hard on this falsehood is Alison Cooper of the fake news, CNN, dumb Brian L. Roberts, chairman of Comcast, Johnny Carl of ABC Fake News, and always the losers of, again, Comcast's NBC Fake News. So we definitely didn't destroy anything. So, you know, we're making fun of Iran's lack of response. We actually did nothing. This is what this tells me. This tells me that we absolutely, like, bombers were sent and bombs were released, but we absolutely didn't destroy a single thing. It was like, you know, like I said, like, you know how Iran's response today is symbolic for their people, like, which Trump did this, and it's not even symbolic for us. Nobody wants it except for unless you're like a full-throated cultist for Trump. And like, you'll do whatever Trump says, and like those people will be fine. But the rest of us, the majority, we're not up for going into another Middle Eastern war. So Trump playing that would not work. Like, it will work for Iran and the Iranian people. But even them, like the Iranian people, have been protesting against the government for a long time now. So even Iran's response might not work either. We'll see. Brian Fessler, thank you for upgrading your membership to level 2. Oh my goodness, that's significant. Appreciate that. Be able to continue doing this and travel and provide also on the ground information, firsthand source streams with your guys' support. I appreciate that. I'm late. Any reports yet? Any injuries? Oh boy. Yeah, you are late for an hour and a half stretch. No injuries. We already have videos that have come in of the ballistic missiles, the intercepts, and now Trump mad that at Anderson Cooper, calls him Alison Cooper, that they're reporting that we don't know. Okay, the truth is we don't know what was destroyed, or if what we don't have any battle damage assessments. And Iran's not going to provide that other than the Maxar images, but we don't know, like, if anything was even destroyed. So Trump's mad. How long did I serve? About 2 years at a local pub back in 2011. Hell yeah. Trump was mad at Massey. Get this bum out of... that's not relevant really, though. Mad at Massey because Massey's he's pushing back against the war. It's so funny to see the same people speaking in tongues outside the White House will turn and look you dead in the face and say Iran is run by radical theocrats. Exactly.
We just thank you right now, Lord, from the east.
So if you guys are wondering what MAGA is doing, this is what they're doing.
We just thank you right now, Lord, from the east, the west, the north, and the south. You will shake America with your power and your glory.
They're doing this while also denying that we're at war.
We cancel every assignment of the enemy. This nation was birthed to be one nation.
What the fuck, bro? Get the hell out of here. God ain't hearing that. Shut up. What the heck is that? Literally speaking in tongues, bro. What the hell, bro?
And we are standing on the soil of the White House, and we are declaring your word. Every place that our foot will trod, you will give it to us. And we are taking the land. We thank you.
Yeah, the same people. Again, that's why, bro. The same people that will say Iran's a religious ethno state. And while we're literally going to war for a religious ethno-state in Israel, while also being absolute religious theocrats themselves. Quite wild, isn't it? Talking to the worms.
We thank you, O Lord. You have brought us to the kingdom for a time such as this. And
A holy war, a jihad, you guys. American jihad right here.
this is the time. And so we declare right now from the capital of our nation that America will come back to God. We will come back to God. Nothing will stop this nation. And we speak right now by the authority of heaven. You told us to bring heaven to earth. Heaven is being released through your people right now.
They brought heaven to earth, guys. It's being released. They brought heaven to earth. Trump doesn't want more military. Guys, I don't want it, but I will if I have to. Let's go back to the AP Newswire. U.S. confirms missile attack from Iran on U.S. military base in Qatar. Okay, so this was 3 minutes ago. They did confirm it. We've seen it on social media postings, but here it is actually being confirmed. The Defense Department official is confirming a missile attack from Iran on the U.S. military base in Qatar, but says no casualties have been reported. The official said Monday that Al-Udeid Air Base was attacked by short-range and medium-range ballistic missiles. The U.S. is continuing to monitor the situation, said the official. The confirmation came soon after Iran acknowledged the missile attacks in Qatar matched the number of bombs dropped by the United States on its nuclear sites over the weekend, signaling its likely desire to de-escalate. Okay, so we're caught up. The U.S. has confirmed everything. Everything that we're watching on social media is not fake. There you go. It's important. It's cringe, but it's important to actually do that and source like 4 times. Because you could read something on social media and it's literally not true. So if you guys are doing your own monitoring the situation when I'm not live, or the other 18,000 streamers you guys watch and tell me about, make sure that they, well, if they're not doing it, then you are at least double checking everything. New Speaker Johnson comes out against war power vote. Speaker Johnson, I don't think this is an appropriate time for a war powers resolution, and I don't think it's necessary. For 80 years, presidents of both parties have acted the same commander-in-chief authority under Article 2. Did he tweet this? You had President Biden used 3 times in Middle East operations. President Obama went on an 8-month campaign bombing Libya to take down the regime there. I never heard a Democrat balk about any of that. And suddenly now they're just up in arms. It's all politics. This is not a time for politics. So Speaker Johnson's going to be going against the war power vote. That's going to be Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey. Hey, appreciate the support there. We got support on Facebook coming in from Natasha. Thank you so much, Natasha. Stop. We're playing Death Stranding 2 this week. We got to finish the first one. Don't tell me. I haven't watched any videos or anything. I'm waiting. I haven't watched anything. Trump administration was anticipating Tehran would retaliate after strikes by the U.S. Air Force on Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend, and the president does not want more military engagement in the Middle East, a senior White House official told CNN, though the official added that President Trump is willing to escalate U.S. military involvement if necessary, and is currently meeting with senior defense officials in the Situation Room. And plus, we have his latest statement on Truth Social attacking Anderson Cooper on CNN. Can I get a salalala blah 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 blah? In the name of God, salalala blah 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 blah. Start shaking and shit, whatever they do. But like a seizure for God, bro. It's so ridiculous. I literally be in church and like try not to laugh when I see that shit. I'm like, bro, what am I doing here? So I stop going. Shut up, Matt Walsh. I gotta be racist. All right, hey, Matt. Hey, racism postings. When do the mass deportations start? When does the gas prices get lowered? No new wars. What happened? I don't know what happened. What do you guys think happened? Subba lubba 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 lubba. If you guys hear that, just know I'm cooked. If I start speaking in tongues like that, you know, they got me. They got me, chat. Okay, cyber attack protection. Okay, that's separate. That's not... Okay, something else. Last we got was the IDF bombing Hezbollah targets in South Lebanon. It's the last I got for you at this time. We also have the feed up of Tel Aviv. We do have the Tel Aviv feed still running, so that's live if we do hear any responses. That would have to be force-fed. Hey, Amonsky with a 10 gifted. Let's go. Amonsky coming in hot with the big support there. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Put this up here. Oops, not that one. There we go. Tel Aviv live. Joy, good to have you. As we're waiting for more information to come in, if anything. Thank you, Mod Nikki, for sharing that from Jake Sherman. And also Rare Browntle. You got Speaker Johnson going to be rejecting the War Powers resolution. Good evening from the UK. Been watching on YouTube. Trump says he's holding off, but he lies. Russia has said if Iran needs help in writing, they will. From Dax. My friend used to call them Shamalama Ding Dong people. That's what it sound like. Yeah, I saw your guys' post on the Discord. Okay, we're starting to get the postings of the videos we've seen. The Iranian... This is a file video. We've seen this one. That's not from today. Oh, we got another video here. Reuters released a... Okay, so while we're watching the latest with Israel, Iran, and the U.S. intervention, you also have Russia attacking Kyiv. This was on June 23rd. It's overnight. So this is in Ukraine. You guys can hear a lot of the... That's what the air defense in Ukraine sounds like a lot of times. It's small arms trying to shoot the drones in. Pretty big attack from Russia on Ukraine. It looks like the strikes on Kyiv itself have been escalating. Because they just had an attack on Kyiv a couple days ago. You said the drone sound is eerie? You should hear it in person. You got the small arms fire. So that was a longer video showing what's happening in Kyiv overnight, as we're all watching what's happening in Tel Aviv and Tehran and the Middle East now that the U.S. is involved, because that was predicted when Donald Trump becoming president again, that he was going to turn his back on Ukraine. And he has. And it's allowing Russia to be able to carry out further strikes and also gains on the front lines. Let me see here. That was in Odessa. 14 people were injured in a Russian army strike in Belgorod, Dnipropetrovsk, Odessa region. State emergency service announced. So also 2 people passed away. Among those injured were 2 teenagers who happened to be passing by. I don't see any other posts about the attack in Kyiv overnight. Just the Reuters video. My goodness. A lot of drones. Got Thomas Massey still going back and forth with Trump over Iran. A war powers resolution has 57 co-sponsors. Whether you like it or not, Congress will be voting on U.S. hostilities in Iran. As we wait for more. Do we have a live of Qatar? Do we have a live of Doha? Yep, we do. There we go. There's some equal sound in the headphones there. We'll mute the Tel Aviv feed. We got something there. I'll take white noise. I can't sit in complete silence. Can't sit in the just complete silence in the background. So you actually got Qatar. Let me change this over. Got a feed up there of what's taking place. Chat, what do I need to do to keep you guys around in the stream for long? You got, I've been watching. You got other people that will just sit live and hold 60K people just sitting there. What do I got to do? Do I got to dance for you guys? I've been figuring and trying to figure that out. If I stop talking for 2 minutes, 300 people leave. Others will just sit and look at skylines all night. And we'll hold 60K people doing that. So I guess I gotta like dance for you guys or do something. Keep you guys entertained. You guys require a little more, don't you? Require a little more entertainment, I guess. I don't know what to do. Please don't dance. Okay, I won't. Worth a try. Bro. Just start playing the trumpet out of nowhere. No dancing. Those streams you put on the background. True. I'm peeping it all. I've been watching because I see other people doing the breaking news stuff, and it's like, and I'll tune in too. And boy, do they sit there. They'll sit there, and I get kind of. I mean, I'll be like, yeah, man, nothing's happening, but they'll sit there. I'll lose every single viewer I have doing that. Don't know. I don't know what the heck. Mercado Shaker time, says Dubsy Dabster. The Mercado Shaker. We're not doing anything with feet. Absolutely not. I'm not. That is gross. I mean, you know, I'm not going to kink shame whatever you're into, but I'm not with that. Not into that. That is not okay for me. What you like, but not for me. Yuck. Okay, guys, so we got live at Qatar. We also have Tel Aviv. Would have been. I wonder, was the stream live? Oh, the stream would have been great like 2 hours ago ish, when the attacks were coming in. Play piano and the guitar, huh? Stream from the batting cage. Just start doing batting cage streams. What are you yucking? An idea that a chatter had for content. Doesn't need to be repeated. Asmin is out. Ended up here. Perfect. Wow. I got an Asmin Gold community coming over. I'm a little different than him, though. Politically. I hope that's okay. Just a little. You like your trumpet playing. Appreciate that. We're still waiting on anything after the Situation Room meeting, too, you guys. Still waiting on anything out of the Situation Room and Trump. You got people making posts, and you got the rumor mill going, but beyond that, Zoltan Gamers said take more calls. Take more Discord calls, huh? When's the last time you heard? I messaged him the other day. I had seen a post from the so-called commander of the fake Georgian Legion say that they personally were out there in Hostomel, like shooting Russian planes down. So I was like, facts or nah? And Starsky was like, Starsky said, oh yeah, bro, they were out there grabbing the planes and bringing them down themselves, or grabbing the helicopters and bringing them down manually. So we just checked in and said, how you doing, and making sure everything's going well. He's feeling a little burnt out, understandably. Understandably, that's why I took a month off in May. Good thing I did. I would have been dragging ass during this last 2 weeks of news. Hasn't stopped, has it? Between the ICE protests and the now the U.S. intervention in the Middle East with Israel. Yeah, I'm glad I did. I'm hurting money-wise for this month, but next month, boy, am I set up for the... I'll go to Qatar. I'm not going. I don't want to go... No, I don't want to go to the Middle East, you guys. Don't want to go back. Okay, we'll travel around the U.S. and cover our military and our streets here, I guess. I'm still waiting for more on oil. We saw some posts about it going down, but Trump's truth today telling the oil companies not to raise prices. Iran's retaliation may now be over, which is why WTI Brent crude oil prices are tanking. While most areas will still see gas prices itching up, we could start to see decrease to national average. What's the national average now at this point? What in the heck is the national average? Also, guys, too, if you're like a daily viewer, I know we've been trying to stream every day at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we've been, but be ready for streams ahead of time, okay? Be ready for some streams before or after. Like, we were live yesterday at some crazy times on a Sunday. 6:45 in the morning yesterday, and then also later in the evening. So make sure you guys are have the notification bells turned on as well, because at this point it honestly could be anytime breaking news. Outside of breaking news, though, we're live at 3 p.m. Eastern every day. But right now it's kind of like when it's hot and ready. Okay, you got Forbes posting, U.S. reports no injuries after Iran attacks. And that's good news. Okay, so we haven't had an update in about a half hour on the AP wire. Let's go to all, actually, sorry. Okay, 21 minutes ago. We had a U.S. confirmation. They're probably still in the Situation Room. I haven't seen a post saying Trump out of the Situation Room. Watch, I'll refresh and we'll see it now. Oh boy, what's this? Cameraman's got his family there, it sounds like. Fox News Pentagon producer. U.S. military intercepted several Iranian missiles targeting Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. U.S. official tells Fox News. It is not clear exactly how many missiles were intercepted, but no missiles reached Al Udeid. That was just posted. I'll actually repost that. Also, I should repost the... Let me repost these videos quick, or at least the longer ones. Yeah, I'll repost this one. Because if you guys follow me on X, which a lot of you guys left X because of Elon. There, I just reposted the 2 of the longer videos showing the attack. With airports close to Doha near at capacity for diversions, Qatar Airways are now diverting to airports further from home. We're live with it, right? Yeah. What are they seeing? Oh. Oh, flights can't go. Okay. I see what they're looking at. Their flights can't go there, so they have to be diverted elsewhere. Flights intended. They're going to have to land. I don't know where they'd land. Saudi Arabia? Need the Air Force and airport experts to clock in here. Okay, so they can't. There's no one else is taking off and landing. You got Air Arabia flights that are hanging out really, really close to the coastline. This is a UAE flight. So it looks like the Gulf is still iffy on planes. You got a couple planes in there, but they're really, really close to the coastline. You're not traveling further out into the Gulf. Not UAE. You got to use special permission to even land in UAE. So it seems so. I've been to the Kuwait airport. Landed there. IDF, Iranian headquarters in Tehran. It's from the IDF. I trust Max postings. After U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, Americans are concerned about Iran's ability to retaliate. Concerned. None of Iran's missiles could reach the U.S. Didn't I say that at the start? I started at the start of the stream, but it could strike you. Man, I should get a job at the Washington Post. Let me go get a job. No, I'm kidding. Told you. Yeah, Washington Post. So if you're like, a lot of people are rightfully concerned about being attacked here at home and being drawn into a big war, but don't fear that. Fear the amount of money and resources being put into a 20-year war in the Middle East, and your family members going, because likely if you have like relatives, nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, they're likely will go. If we get drawn into a wider war, and that's really more of the, for me at least. Like I'm not worried at all about the U.S. being attacked. Potential for obvious, like sleeper cells in the U.S., I guess, and like terrorism, like terrorism from within. We've already kind of been experiencing that, you know. We've kind of been experiencing that. So the real, like, I guess more people are probably concerned about a big ballistic missile attacks on the U.S., and that just won't happen. Okay, at least with this conflict against Iran. So there's nothing to be concerned about on that on that note. It's more the concern of being drawn into 20 plus years of war again, and our soldiers and Air Force fighting and dying for Israel. Yeah, we have. I'm not saying we don't have issues with like domestic or inside terrorism here. We have that, but people were concerned if like Iran was going to activate sleeper terrorists and start bombing shit, I guess. Which is a concern to have. I mean, it's I'm not going to say that you're silly for feeling that way. It's so hard to live through. This is seriously. This was a lot of American takes during Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Like, bro, you have no idea. And I don't want Americans to find out either. That's why I'm against this. You don't know what it's like. You know when you have your first Wednesday of the month tornado sirens, if you live in the Midwest, we have them in Minnesota. Every first Wednesday of the month, we have a tornado siren test. But imagine instead of tornadoes, it's missiles, like I said, which is why people are afraid. But you don't actually understand like how scary it is. You can go to the shelter and hide, but hopefully they don't have munition that can breach that. Or just like being outside in the sky is dangerous. Oh boy. Here's another one from Fetterman, guys.
What you think about the possibility? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says the president shouldn't be impeached because he's impulsive. What do you think of that?
No, I mean, of course, no. She knows it. I know it. We all know it. That's not going anywhere. And, you know, he's been impeached twice, and now he's still our president as well now, too. So it's not going anywhere, and I don't think that's helpful.
Guys, how long until Fetterman becomes Republican? He's going to be like, he's the next Tulsi Gabbard loading. Or RFK Jr., who were like Democrats in name. They were dinos. Oh boy, he really played the personal health issue to get elected, and he did. And boy, is he not Democratic at all. Holy shit. Holy. Grifted his own health concerns. Jeez, dude. That's why you got to go off of merit, actually, when it comes to politicians, and not like their personal issues or their personal stuff. Because then they'll grift that, and then they'll use that personal thing that they have that you voted for because they have like a thing going on, whatever it is. And then they get to do whatever they want after that. Like Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer gets elected for AIPAC in the Democratic Party. I've seen press reports that Iranian missiles are targeting U.S. military bases in the Middle East, putting the lives of thousands of American service members at immediate risk. I've asked the Trump administration to give me a classified briefing to lay out the full threat picture, the intelligence behind Iran's retaliation, the detailed scope and timeline of any U.S. response. Most importantly, I've demanded they lay out exactly what measures they're taking right now to keep our service members safe. The Trump administration should not make the same mistake it made this weekend by launching strikes without giving any details to Congress. The law requires the Trump administration to consult with Congress. The Constitution demands it. The American people, especially the families of those in harm's way, deserve nothing less. That's from Chuck Schumer. Are we going to get like a briefing or something after all of this? We got crying baby audio. There you go. That'll keep you guys around. Crying baby audio in the Doha feed. Hell yeah. That's what you guys want. It's like being on an airplane. UAE flights are back on. Now we got, you know, they're flying from you. They're going this way. They're going east. Going like north and east. They're not heading into the Gulf. Right in the Gulf of Oman, but not the Gulf of the Arabian Gulf, Persian Gulf. So that's open again, eastward. Still not seeing any planes flying through the Persian Gulf yet. You said Trump painted his face in war paint? If he did, that would be a meme. That would be wild. It was 18 hours ago. Your uncle right now. Oh my God. The Pentagon has released official footage of U.S. Air Force B-2 Spirit strategic bombers taking off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri 3 hours before Operation Midnight Hammer strikes on targets in Iran. Okay, so we got footage of the strike here. Oh, okay, it's just a takeoff. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, so is this the landing then? You live near Whiteman? Okay, this is probably them landing back then. Okay. 36-hour mission. Missouri. They went from Missouri, bombed Iran, and came back in 36 hours. Those are the B-2 Spirit bombers. We went into a video deep dive a couple days ago, I believe. I didn't know there was a bathroom though in those things. Let me look at that really quick while we're waiting for further here. Inside of a B-2 Spirit bomber. Because 36 hours. Can we like see inside of it? There's got to be a video shot. Oh, here you go.
Does the B-2 have a toilet? The B-2 bomber has crazy distance capabilities. It's made to go unnoticed past enemy air defenses thanks to its stealth features. The B-2 has even broken records in the history books with remarkable shot all the way to Afghanistan. Turned around, or our hotel. Just a million include a few minutes on.
I want to see, is there a video like actually showing inside of the B-2? There you go. In flight. Doesn't seem like a B-2. Is that a B-2 actually? Oh, okay. Oh, they're not into B-2. They're filming the B-2. I'm about to say. Okay. Looks like an alien plane, doesn't it? There you go. Inside the cockpit. In the cockpit. Where's the bathroom? Never before seen footage. That's really tight, dude. You're in that thing. It's an alien plane. We took it, developed it from the aliens. I want to see the toilet. That's all. Brandon Mitchell should do a toilet review in a B-2. That could be a content idea. Okay, it shows the outside of it. Great. I want to see what's in there. I don't even know if there is. Is there even a video? B-21 Raider. That's not the same plane. Show me the toilet. That's really my only thoughts. Are like, you know, it's a 36-hour mission. That's a long mission. I've done 16-hour mission, but we got to pull over the truck and use the bathroom, or we had Gatorade bottles. I don't know how a Gatorade bottle will work in the cockpit. Where is it? I was looking for it. He has a short. Does he show the inside of the B2? You can hold it for 36 hours? Yeah. Maybe if you don't have any like increased anxiety or because you're gonna get those pilots, like they're well trained, they're professionals, but like you're going on a bombing mission, you know, you're gonna have some anxiety there. You might have anxiety shits. It is what it is. If you've been in the military or done anything before you've ever done something big, you get anxiety shits. Yeah, exactly. They tell them, Jake. They don't know about it. Before you go out on mission, boy, I could use the bathroom well in advance to be prepared, and then we're about to roll out, and here comes the anxiety shits. The flying Dorito, yes, you're trying to eat over here. I'm sorry. Oh, it is lunchtime. I apologize. Probably not the best time to look for where the bathroom is in the B2, my bad. Probably not the best time there. Free Imodium. Okay. So now we got some more clips coming in as politicians are responding to all this.
And what
this is House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
And what I can say is not a scintilla of evidence to date has been presented that I have seen to justify the notion that there was an imminent threat.
You said it's over. All sides have an exit ramp now. Hopefully. Hope so. We'll see.
To the United States of America. If the administration has evidence to the contrary, come up to present it. We're not hard to find. I'm not hiding. And we've asked for a Gang of Eight briefing. Tomorrow, there will be an opportunity for every single member of the House to hear the information from the administration, and hopefully they will present it in a manner that's comprehensive. It will be probed, it will be tested, it will be aggressively pushed back against, and then we'll see what the outcome is after that classified briefing.
Okay. So that's what Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries had to say. What else we got here? Here was what Nazi Barbie had to say this morning.
And nobody knows what it means to accomplish peace through strength better than President Trump. He is the one who came up with that motto and that foreign policy doctrine, and he successfully.
Yeah, and it's only used on Iran apparently, and nowhere else.
Implemented it in his first term.
Remember when Ukraine and Zelensky tried like playing that, and it just absolutely failed because Trump is a Russian-owned person. Russia owns him, and Ukraine was like, okay, let's try peace through strength. Trump loves that. Trump loves those words.
And this is one of many steps he is taking to successfully implement peace in his second term. And nobody knows what it.
Okay, so that's what she had to say this morning. Here's more from Jeffries, another 1.5-minute clip.
Donald Trump and his actions, which do not appear to be consistent with the United States Constitution, takes unilateral offensive military action without seeking the approval of the United States Congress. The use of military force which is offensive in nature, must be approved by the House and the Senate. That's according to the Constitution. It's not optional.
Mod, I don't know if Mod Nikki's up. If we could get the posts up, if we could get the posts up of the attacks on the base from the Patriot missiles.
And
the Patriot missiles defending the attacks.
That's according to the Constitution. It's not optional, Donald. It's not. The framers of the Constitution actually gave Congress the power to declare war for a reason. So the American people, through their elected representatives, would have the opportunity to debate the issue and make some decisions as it relates to what's in the best interest and the national security of the American people. Donald Trump and the administration chose to ignore the Constitution. And so they're going to have to come before Congress and explain their justification for an offensive military strike against Iran.
So that's what Hakeem Jeffries said today, that they will be held accountable for not involving Congress. And that's what we got here so far. Latest on reconciliation timeline. Thune says hopefully first vote Thursday. He says he's moving full speed ahead on the package. The bird bath has taken a little bit longer than expected. What is that? This is for the big, beautiful bill that Trump wants pushed through. So far, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, Morocco, Jordan, Lebanon, Turkey, Yemen, and the Palestinian Authority have all condemned tonight's ballistic missile attack by Iran against Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Cringe. I want fatigues and to destroy fascism within the United States. Cringe. Anyone? This is a tell. There is no communism in the United States. There's a lot of fascism, though. A lot of it. And using it. What a loser. It's a grift for, like, right-wing vet bros. Is guy gonna dress up and go kill commies. But there's fascists out here, though. I don't see the communists. I see the fascists. Went to one communist rally. They were like, it was not anything that looked like it would take power in the U.S. anytime soon. What the fuck? Who pulled the fire alarm? What was that? Sorry. That was crazy. That was in the Qatar feed. Stop. Jesus. Holy. Your dog jumped? Sorry, dog. I jumped. What the hell? Are you awake now? Jeez, you guys up? What timing? I was just reading such a tweet. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Diddy defense may invoke Iran conflict in closing argument. Wow. That's certainly a strategy. The crying kid pulled it, probably. I'm sorry, I turned it down. I think I have headphones in. What is happening? What is going on in the Qatar feed right now? No. Sounds like he's got the camera guy or whoever has family stuff happening in the background. So, no, that's fire alarm. Someone pulled a fire alarm in his building. Why do I'm just reading that Diddy may use the Iran conflict in his closing arguments. Now this shit is news, is it? Okay. Well, that's happening. Governor Newsom, California, currently has 205 members of the Cal Guard deployed in the Middle East, including at bases in Qatar and Iraq. Jen and I are praying for their safety and for the safety of every American service member in harm's way. What the hell? Boy, are there a lot of sounds in this Qatar feed. Holy. Do they have a lot going on? You got Secretary Sean Duffy.
There are two kinds of people. Those who believe in God and those who think they're God. There's something beautiful.
Only two people out here. Believers and people that act like God. That's it. This is running our government. Between the blah, 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 blah. Ass shit we heard earlier, and then this. Crazy.
Humbling and properly ordered about a man and woman who understand that there is power greater than themselves, that everything is not in their control, and that they are the beloved child of a merciful God who hears their prayers. Before there was...
Keep that shit out of the government. I don't care. I don't care. Keep that away from the government.
GPS, technology, sailors solely relied on key stars to keep them, to help them navigate where they were going. Sailors rely on the North Star to lead them, because the North Star remains fixed in the same location throughout the night.
Oh my God, bro.
In the Middle Ages, men of the sea prayed to the Virgin Mary, who they called Stella Maris, because she was their North Star that pointed them toward God the Father, their protector and spiritual destination. No one.
And then when you actually like engage with conservatives or Republicans now in 2025, none of them practice the word of God. Not a single one. My grandma passed away, and I think she's the last generation of them that were conservative and actually like were religious at the same time. All of them now grift. They grift it. They don't actually believe it, nor do they practice any of it. But they'll shove it in your face, and then also into the government, while claiming that there's Islamic jihadists out here. Well, they're Christian jihadists. Oh my, it's real? I ain't gonna lie, guys. I have like a ringing in my head after that now. I don't know if that hit the tinnitus or what happened there, but anyone else with tinnitus hearing some shit? My bad, dude. That's gotta go away. New released image of U.S. Air Force B-2 Spirit. We watched the video. There's another image of the B-2s taken off from Missouri. Another image there. Okay, here's a time lapse of the airspace from Flight 24, which we're also tracking. You guys can see the airspace close. Let's take a look at the live look over the airspace. Doesn't look like planes are going into the Persian Gulf right now. Still, they're going eastward though, in the Gulf of Oman. And get the Qatar feed back up while I'm looking for stuff. Hopefully we don't have any surprise fire alarms. No surprise fire alarms, hopefully. How oil prices are like up and down right now. Trump told them to not raise the prices, and they listened to him. So it was dropping, but let's just take a look, actually. Is there a flight radar equivalent for shipping? There's one for maritime. So, yeah. But that one is way harder to look at than the air one for me. Gas prices could now be heading higher in Minnesota. Great. Gasoline prices were already heading up across much of Minnesota, but just how much higher can we expect them to rise? Minnesota's third largest city in Rochester, you have between $3.14 and $3.18 a gallon. Dahan noted. Patrick Dahan. Gas buddy. Energy markets taking large losses. So he's tracking the war in terms of how the gas prices will rise or lower, which is important to know. Any idea why futures are selling off with all of this conflict? When Russia invaded in 22, we saw, yeah. That MAGA did not believe that, though. It was Biden caused the prices to go up. He personally said raise the prices in order. MAGA thought that. Meanwhile, it was Russia's invasion of Ukraine that caused the prices to rise, but you refuse to see that. Because, good question. Russia's invasion of Ukraine promised to be severe and brought on new sanctions. Iran's oil has already been heavily sanctioned for years. Also, 2022 saw a large amount of pent-up demand as the U.S. economy reopened from COVID. Russia also a far larger producer than Iran. Quick update on oil and gas. This was 6 hours ago, though, so probably need updated information. I think Donald Trump is, yeah, speaking of communism, isn't this price control? Right? When Kamala Harris and Biden or whoever, Bernie or whoever advocate for price caps, that's communism. Donald Trump can do it, though, apparently. And I think that's just what it is. That's just, and it was the sooner we accept that it's a cult, and there's no rhyme or reason beyond it's a cult. And when Trump says it's go, and that's good now. It's bad if Trump doesn't do it. It's good if Trump does it, and that's the politics. There's nothing else there. Nothing else to think about. Don't need to put yourself in a pretzel trying to figure that out. Bad if Trump doesn't do it. Good if Trump does it. And that's it. That's it. Because they're culted. U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff has remained in contact with Iranian officials since the U.S. strikes on Iran nuclear facilities over the weekend. Two sources familiar with the matter told CNN as President Trump continues to seek out a diplomatic resolution to the conflict. Yeah. I don't know how you do diplomatic resolution when you engage in bombing campaigns for Israel on Iran, but what is this guy good for, dude? U.S. Special Envoy. That's why these people are insufferable. Okay. Example prime number one. So you got Charlie Kirk, who is one of the thought leaders of MAGA, and so many people my age. Watch Charlie Kirk. Bro, I will bounce a ball off his forehead. Here, catch, Charlie. I'll do that. 0 U.S. casualties, 0 Iranian missiles hit the U.S. base. So this guy was literally like cheering on strikes. And then he's like, okay, now let's de-escalate and then pray for peace. And then you go, and then Nick Sorter, another MAGA cuck. The deep state is going to continue attempting to force more U.S. involvement in Iran. So watch for ops. Yeah, it's the deep state, guys. Not Donald Trump himself. How do they diplomacy when they've used diplomacy as deception to cover illegal? That's the calculus, I guess, of it. Charlie's a good dude if you have no plans on ever touching a woman in your life, or a man, if that's what you like. He's a good dude if you are literally unfucked. If you're an unfucked person, which we have a lot of those people around. Stop showing me Death Stranding posts. I'm waiting for it. You got Thomas Massey. I'm going to program my debt badge to display the number of milliseconds that have elapsed since Trump has tweeted at me. Oh. Let's go. Listen, we can make this worse by cheering for Massey. Okay, just do it temporarily. Damn, they're fighting. Holy. What did I don't even see Elon in my feed, thank God. Don't make me search for him so I see him again. I don't see him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't care. Well, I do, but like right now I don't. I'm glad we don't see Elon right now. Holy. Massey versus Trump. And Massey is a huge MAGA base. See how that works out. Trump's reckless Iran strikes could backfire. Okay. What a post. All of this also, though, add this to the list of reasons why ICE needs to prove who they are and present official arrest warrants before allowed onto a property or to arrest a person. Really great that an Iranian terrorist cell can simply order vests from Amazon, dress up like a masked ICE agent, and walk into any building in the country to plant a bomb. Dude, this is more than what ICE usually wears. They actually have a big patch. Oftentimes, they're literally in jeans, a backwards flat bill hat, a COVID conservative mask on, which as you can see here, these are COVID conservative masks because they wouldn't wear the real ones that actually protect you, so they coped and wore this instead. It was funny. Yeah, they look like terrorists to me. They don't even look like the police. How can you tell? You've seen ICE wearing Crocs. I believe it. No argument. What I've seen. We haven't stopped tracking that too, guys. We just don't have major protests right now against ICE, but that will continue. You got Homeland Security lobbying for the bill. You know, in the government, you have government agencies that focus on their one thing and do that. but in Trump's government, you have them all grifting for him. So while Kristi Noem's ICE is out grabbing people at work, grabbing the working immigrants from Home Depots or wherever, she's lobbying for the bill.
Now, we do have a bill that's coming before Congress. I hope everybody will support. That will be a necessary resource for CBP.
Holy. What a lot of news, though, huh? This is our message to the world. We will do it. Oh, I guess the IRGC has a Twitter. Now it's just us and you. There will be no way for you to escape. Okay. Cool out, IRGC. You did your little show of force. You did it, and it's done. If you really want an off-ramp of this, then your Trump and maggots will take that and run with it. They love that. But they said death to America, so we have to bomb them. So that's an actual thing. I thought it was a meme at first. You have Diddy's trial. Looks like he's going to be using the... I can't... Seriously. He's going to invoke the Iran conflict. Not the bottles of blue. Oh. Guys, we're covering the Diddy trial after all, I guess. The Johnson & Johnson blue bottles. What a picture. Hey, feds, Iran's the real threat. Stay out of his bedroom. Iran may be key to Diddy's defense in his sex trafficking trial because we're told his defense may use the growing conflict of the Middle East as a way to take a shot at the federal case against him. What are these images, bro? Our sources tell Diddy's defense may invoke the recent conflict with Iran later this week in their closing argument. We're told possible defense goes like this. This is a manufactured case of bedroom police instigated by Homeland Security investigators rather than worrying about what Diddy is doing with baby oil and lube. Guys, we're done with the news today, I think. I think that's enough. Incredible. We should worry more about the escalating conflict in Iran more than Diddy's baby oil and lube usage. Other sources tell us Diddy's defense feels they don't need to do anything but rest their case Tuesday. So are we going to get an ending to this then, actually? Bedroom policing. Is that really the defense? Diddy has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. There you go. That's the latest Iran news. That's the latest U.S.-Iran conflict update right here. There it is. Diddy's lube usage. And baby oil. All right. Well, with that, I think I will call it because I got softball later. I do have softball later tonight. Finally. I played last week, and it's going to be warm, but it looks like we might play as long as storms stay out. I'll be on my gaming channel for the rest of the afternoon, kind of hanging out, doing laundry and just kind of getting ready and also just monitoring the situation. But I'm going to monitor the situation by growing my gaming channel at the same time. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers, you guys. We're on our way to 100K on Mercado Media, and we're on our way to 10K on Mercado Gaming. Let's do it. Let's do it, right? Well, I'm going to play over here for a while. Honestly, I'm gonna play some Death Stranding because we have Death Stranding coming out Thursday. So I'm gonna do a Death Stranding series part. Come on over, check it out. I'm gonna get it ready right now. See you guys again. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Breaking news coverage here on Mercado Media will continue through the week when there's stuff to talk about and things happening. Right now, I gave you all the information. If you just started tuning in, go review the stream from the beginning, and you can watch it all. It'll post afterwards. I'll have more updates later. Maybe not today because I do have softball and I got to go touch grass for a while. We'll definitely be tuned in tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. So we're not going anywhere, okay? Guys, further Iranian conflict updates, ICE protests against Trump, just general information here on Mercado Media, both on Twitch, on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. My gaming stream will be on YouTube only, okay? Twitch, I'll stream over there when I can stream in higher quality than 1080p. So come on over to YouTube for now. It's a great stream. YouTube chat is great in gaming. I'll tell you that. We have a great, it might be mid for news sometimes, but for gaming, it is really good. So come on over and check it out. All right, guys, have a good rest of your night. See you guys in the next one. Peace.